Maximize your wealth now.
Yes, in business, finance, family, and lifestyle. Think about it. As a certified financial educator, my whole goal for this program originally was to bring business and finance together with spiritual principles and universal laws. And all of it needs to come from the heart. Got it?
Maximize your wealth now.
Absolutely. Yes.
Welcome back to Maximize Your Wealth Now.
In business, finance, family, and lifestyle. And what a show we have for you today. You won't believe it.
That's right. We're so excited because we have a special guest named Starla Lewis, and she is the Teacher of the Year, but not once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 4, 5, and 6, but 7 times Teacher of the Year. So we're super excited to have her. It's truly an honor and a privilege to have her here on the show, and I can't wait till she shares some of her magnificent words with you. She's totally a wordsmith and has great gifts that she's imparted to the world. As you know, she's been teaching for 42 years and has some wonderful graduates that have made a big difference in the world. So we get to hear from her today.
And we're going to hear from Dot Claire, our modern day medicine woman. And you're going to love this because I have not found anywhere where we can get sacred ceremony. Do you know, I looked forever, even in the bookstores, trying to figure out how to open a business meeting with sacred ceremony, and there was nothing out there. And she has the corner on this information, and she's not only going to tell you that about this, she's also going to demonstrate with her dowsing rods about the energy right on this set. So I can't wait till we can share this. So we'll be right back with our first guest.
Starla Lewis is a brilliant woman who for the past 40 years has committed herself to bridging, unifying, and empowering multiculturally diverse communities. She is a 2-time recipient of the Bob Marley Peace Award, a bridge builder in the Women's Hall of Fame, Teacher of the Year at Mesa College 7 times, and is one of San Diego's KPBS Local Heroes. Starla serves on the boards of San Diego Mayor's Commission on the Status of Women, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, the I Am My Sister Mentor Program, and the California Black Women's Health Project. Starla Lewis is the CEO of Celebration of Everlasting Love and Life, a human potential consultancy firm, a poet, author, mother, transformational speaker, educator, and life coach.
You say that you love me, you say that you care. You gave birth to a miracle. We were both there. Love is the deal.
She has helped thousands of people recognize their own greatness through her love, compassion, mutual respect, and understanding. Starla's most recent Women's Empowerment Workshop series focuses on cultivating self-love, building positive relationships amongst women, overcoming racism and sexism, and healing mother-daughter relationships.
So welcome back. We are really looking forward to this interview because we have the Teacher of the Year, and she's going to tell us how she became the Teacher of the Year and what that means, and she has so much more to share. Tell us, how did you become Teacher of the Year? Not once, but 7 times. What is the qualification for that?
Well, I believe that the reason students voted me Teacher of the Year was because in my class I create an environment that is welcoming, where students can feel safe, where they learn and know that their voice matters, and that I'm not the only teacher in the room, that they're teachers too, and that if they hold back, we all miss out.
That's amazing.
Wow, that's such a gift. So what I hear is that you really give your students a voice. They know they matter, they know what they have inside of them matters to be spoken and to be heard, and you honor them as individuals when they come to your class. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I also let them know that I have a very low tolerance for boredom. So I believe in edutainment, that education is supposed to be fun. I believe that we all want to learn and that we all want to know. And then somehow K through 12, some of us got turned off. And so I want to turn them back on. I also want them to see themselves in one another. I say the only goal that I have for you is that you're able to see yourself in every human being that you meet. And so it starts to break down the walls. Absolutely.
And what age group do you work with?
I mostly work with college students. So I was teaching basically 14-year-olds through 85-year-olds. I'm blessed because I'm in the community college and we have a huge age range.
And you've always been here in San Diego?
Yes, North County first, Palomar College, then City College, and then Mesa. And every now and then I pop into a university here and there. But my heart space is in the community college because it's so diverse, not only in ethnicity, but in age, in life experiences, etc.
Wow, okay, I just want to ask you about your journey and how it was that you decided to get into teaching and some of the highlights of your career, because you've been teaching for 42 years, right?
Well, yes, and I never planned to be a teacher. It was never on my radar. But my journey was sitting in my first African American Studies class and realizing that I'd been to school 12 years, had a degree, and had never heard any of this information before. And it started making me think that if I hadn't heard it, other people hadn't heard it, which meant teachers can't teach what they don't know. People can't like who they don't know, even themselves. And so my original journey was I thought, was to teach African American Studies and to help America save itself from self-destruction, because I thought the myths, the lies, and the stereotypes that we interact with each other are part of the reasons globally we don't see ourselves in one another. And then I thought, not only do I want to teach that, but I started thinking back to my youth, in which I realized that the people who were mean to me, unkind to me, were the people who didn't like themselves. And so I remember being 4 years old, sitting on my grandmother's mother's teacher's porch and listening to this woman who was in her 90s just talk about life. And I realized that if I could have the opportunity to help people see themselves and love themselves, then the world would be a better place.
I think that is so beautiful, and I never really heard it said that way, to see yourself in others. That's so beautiful because, you know, I believe that we're all connected. I believe that we're all one and that we all really have a connection. Certainly we're all human beings on one planet, right? So, but to see yourself in another, that gives you a connection that's even stronger. I also love what you said about if you don't know yourself, how can you possibly know another, right?
Exactly.
Beautiful.
On the first day of class, I would say to my students, I teach because I love you. And then I would ask them, how many of you believe it? And only a few people would raise their hand. I said, that's okay. By the end of the semester, you'll all know that it's true. And I said, and I can say it to you because I love me. And if I can see myself in you, then I can't help but love you too.
That's so beautiful.
I love that.
I'm curious to know, Lori, what was your biggest aha during the class?
Figuring out how to say what I do in 4 to 5 words. This has been so exciting because now when I network and someone asks me what I do, I can say it so succinctly and very excited to the point that women say, I want to work with you.
Oh, wow. Talk about change. You know, I'm a change agent here, and I tell you, I was resistant, and I did move forward, and I did risk only because Shirlene was so gentle and supportive for that process.
I am so excited to be able to reach so many women now, whereas before it was one-on-one, and now I can reach the masses.
The masses. Massive visibility for massive income, right?
Yes.
Would you mind just repeating that? Because that was priceless.
I tell people, including in school and out of school, that I love them. And I tell them that I can love them because I love me. And in loving me and seeing myself in them, I can automatically love them too. And I can see the best and the worst of myself in them, because part of loving yourself is embracing your whole self, not just the part that you've become fond of, but the part that you know you're still working on.
And so over time in your classes, do they begin to see each other in that way? Or is it just kind of a relationship between you and the individual students?
You know, one of the big things in school is how do you create a safe environment? You know, because we've had the shootings and we've had riots and we've had all these things. Well, that's one of the ways you do that. I've never had a conflict in my classroom. My students are respectful not only to me, but to one another. I teach them how to disagree without being disagreeable. And honestly, I'm on the path I'm on right now because my students told me, Ms. Lewis, it's time for you to do this in the world. You need a bigger platform. People need to hear what you have to say. And they got tired of bringing their grandmas and their husbands and their kids to class. So they said, well, could you get out there and talk to people? And they said, well, you teach us how to use love to address every issue in our life. And I thought, well, I'd like to do that in the world because I believe love is the most powerful force in the universe. And I believe that we are love. And I believe that when we see that in ourselves, then we can't help but share that with others.
Now, I know this little book you have here. I can't wait to share this little book that you, it's really cute. And it says Sun Kisses. Tell us about the book.
Well, Sun Kisses actually is the brainchild of my children who, when they were little, said, Mom, how come we can't find books to color and play with that look like us? And so I started just drawing them pictures. Their demand was so great. I started Xeroxing pictures. Their demand was so great. I decided to create them a book. And it was at their suggestion that I create the book. I wanted them not only to see images of themselves, I wanted to see them to see themselves in other children who look different from them. And it's filled with love messages. It's in English, Spanish, and French. And there's an affirmation in the book that I'm so proud of because it came to me when I was speaking with 500 incarcerated youth. And the affirmation is really what I live by. And it's, you're brilliant, you're powerful, you're limitless, and you're love. I believe that every last one of us is born with a light to shine. And that light is our gifts and our talents. And it's incomparable. So you don't have to compare yourself to anyone else. You just do you. As my grandson would say, he says, do you. And so my gift of Sun Kisses to children is to get them to learn early what many of us learned later.
The intent of this book is to really help broaden a child's perspective and help them to embrace multiple ethnicities and to get some really good affirmations as they're doing it. Is that right?
Absolutely. And to see themselves. The beauty of a coloring book is that you can make the complexions whatever complexion you want. You can make the hair color whatever hair color you want. Because we live in a society that programs up that this is beautiful. And it's a very narrow pocket. And so all of our children, boys and girls, are suffering from, I don't look like this, whatever this happens to be at the moment. And I want them to know they're divine originals and that they're not supposed to look like each other, that they're supposed to see themselves in each other and love what they have and what they bring to the experience.
I have to say, I'm sorry, divine original. That's new language for me, and I love it.
You know, we ask our children, what do you want to be? But we never ask them, who are you? And really, in embracing who we are, that allows us to be our authentic self in the world. How much easier it is to love your authentic self than the self you make up and the self you create and the self you pretend to be, you know, and so that's part of the work that I do. I believe that the essence of my being and the essence of my work is love. And I believe that when people see themselves, they love themselves because they really are beautiful and brilliant and powerful and limitless. And I believe that when we allow ourselves to be the essence of ourselves, we begin to tap into our purpose, our reason for being. Why am I here? I'm real clear, I'm here to teach love. I wasn't that clear as I was doing it, but when I look back at my journey, that's all I've ever done.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. That's so beautiful.
That's amazing.
I just want to say, just love yourselves. It's not as hard as people make it. There is a key to loving, and it's called forgiving. You forgive you, and it makes it easy to forgive others.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be right back.
Yes.
We want to give you some clarity on how you can step up and make a difference.
Right.
You have seen guest experts come on our show, and if you have a mission and a message, we would love you to come on our show and deliver that to the masses.
Dot Claire is your modern-day medicine woman. She's a nurse, intuitive healer, shaman, and author. For over 35 years, she has been supporting women through childbirth, healing addictive patterns, menopause, and the final stages of life. Her creations process, the 9 pillars for manifesting peace and harmony, was birthed out of navigating the ups and downs of raising 6 children, her own health challenges, divorce, career transitions, and the death of her son. By living into each stage of her 9-step process, she has learned to embrace challenges as gifts. Dot weaves nursing, essential oils, intuitive healing, sacred ritual, and uplifting environments into a tapestry that embodies living from your heart. Her medicine bag is overflowing with natural remedies for breaking through the pain of loss, shifting stinking thinking, and opening your heart to new possibilities. She believes that sacred ritual can magically transform messy life circumstances into blessings. Dot creatively supports women through transitions like divorce, career changes, or death of a loved one and encourages them to find happiness again. Her clients feel like a weight has been lifted off their shoulders. They have more focus, feel more energized, and naturally happy in the moment. Through sacred rituals, retreats, virtual programs, and coaching, Dot passionately empowers women to accept the past, move forward, and grab life with excitement.
Welcome back to the show. Now we get to talk to our modern day medicine woman, Dot Claire, and she is amazing. I was talking a little bit about you earlier in the show and about how there are so few sacred ceremony books or anything out there that we can use to open a meeting or have an event or whatever it is. So I really am excited about bringing you onto the show because it's a new perspective and a place that we can go to really change the way we do business. So Dot, tell us about what you brought. I love that thing with the turtle shell. That's amazing.
Well, the turtle shell, what I generally do with this turtle shell is I clear people's energy, and I clear the energy of a room. And so the rattling helps to shift the energy, and my intention is usually to clear out anything negative so that they can be present for the event.
Nice.
And so then after I do that, I frequently use an essential oil or I use a bell. And that sounding sends a message out into the universe. So I always have an intention.
I've heard of saging, right? Using sage to clear a room. Is it the same idea?
Well, the saging would be similar, but it's using the energy of air. This is using the energy of earth. With the sage, I usually use that for purification. So it's after, I've done some clearing that I use the sage to purify afterwards. But it really is about the space to raise our vibration so that we are more open and receptive to opportunities.
Okay, so raising our vibration, and that's like, is that like frequency? Is vibration and frequency the same thing?
Yes, in fact, it can be measured in what one calls megahertz.
Megahertz, okay.
A healthy body is 65 megahertz. And when disease starts to show up in our body, it starts at 55. And so when people are depressed or they're stuck in old grief or divorce, whatever the messiness of the story that they're stuck in, their vibration lowers. So fear is a pretty low vibration. And so helping people to move from fear into opportunity or fear into love, we want to raise that vibration, and I just happen to have a lot of tools in my medicine bag to be able to do that.
That's brilliant. So raising the vibration, is there a way, now that you've talked about the frequency and the vibration, I'm like, is there a way to measure that, like technically or scientifically measure the frequency of the body?
I use dowsing rods. And so these dowsing rods were made originally to find water. What I wanted to do right now with us is, both of you and myself, just think no or a negative thought.
Can our audience participate
Oh,
in this?
yes, it would be great to have the audience do that. So just kind of tune into yourself, take a deep breath, and think, I don't want to do this. No, this isn't okay. Whatever it is, just say the word no. And what happens is the rods cross. Now think of something that feels really good, that you absolutely love. So something that brings you great joy. And they opened all the way up.
Wow, those are like magic.
So they're really fun, and it really helps, for even the audience to be able to have a visual for what happens when we go around with negative thoughts. And so clearing our mind of the thoughts that pull us down, like I can't do this, or I don't know how, or whatever the thought is, that we lift ourselves up by shifting that thought. And so sometimes what I do is use the rattle to help shift that thought. Clearing space has a way of uplifting our spirits so that it mirrors who we are or who we want to be. I'm Dot Claire, your modern day medicine woman. Are you stuck in a messy divorce, unfinished grief, or even career challenges? What if you could change your story, could move forward and accept what is? I have this wonderful 4-part teleseries called Riding the Waves of Change, where you will learn natural techniques for completing the past, to be done with that past, move forward, and to step into the excitement of life again. Join me in sacred ceremony to be able to move forward and be really excited. I'm a change agent, and many of us are resistant to change. So many of us have a dream. It may be in the wealth area, it may be in our careers, it may be in our relationships. And so what is that dream? What is that dream that you have? Well, my clients have really been stuck in their lack of wealth or prosperity, and by clearing their space with the intention, they have moved forward and completed more of the past so they can receive that which they desire. Because at a cellular level, we hold on to a lot of old stuff from the past. So changing patterns starts there. So with the intuitive healing, that was able to change some of the patterns, but sacred ceremony was a huge piece that actually, coming together as a group, there was a witness. It was a witness for where we've been and where we want to be. Right. And magic happens in a community. It just exponentially raises the vibration. And so the experience and transformation is much deeper. And now you can do sacred ceremony by yourself. I do a lot of that. And I do help people to create their own little ceremonies. And one of the things that I would probably say first is, get a candle, light a candle, write your intention, and then chant or say a prayer 9 times, and for 9 days. So
that's the hard part.
It's remembering to do the 9 days, and actually I would say 27 days, but to get people to remember. So it's mostly every time you see the candle and the written intention that you say the prayer for what you intend.
And I know that you have a class, because I've been in your class. And we get to do sacred ceremony in every class. It's absolutely amazing. And then we get to journal. And I've had some phenomenal things come out of that sacred ceremony. And I know you have a gift for us today, right? For our audience?
Well, I do. And that gift is my ebook, which is Navigating Change with Ease. And the ebook is the beginning step to doing my teleconference calls. And so when you read the book, you will hear the 9 pillars to manifesting change. I share 3 of those pillars in my first class. which is 4 segments. And so the idea is that it kind of jump starts movement. So when you jump start movement, then you're able to begin to take some action. Start clearing out your bedroom. The bedroom is where you spend 8 hours at least a day. You spend more time in that room than any other room in the house. And if it's filled with clutter or it's messy, that's the message you've got of stuck energy.
Great tip. That's a great tip, and I have some work to do. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today, Dot. It's just been really wonderful hearing about sacred ceremony and the tools and the dowsing rods and the rattle and all the difference that you can make with your essential oils. And you certainly do have a lot of tools in your modern day medicine bag, and I'm just in deep gratitude for you coming today.
So we'll be back very shortly with a tip of the day from Dot, something that you can do as a takeaway to make a difference in your life. Well, welcome back to Dot sharing her tip of the day for you, and this is something that you can do right now. Dot, tell us what we should do about our bed.
Well, talking about our bed, you know, we spend quite a few hours sleeping, and a lot of our emotional stuff gets stuck in our mattress. So if you have a rattle, or you could take a pan with a wooden spoon, but go around that bed and shake that energy, shake it up with the intention while you're doing it of clearing anything that is blocking you, that holds you back, that keeps you from receiving that which you desire in your life, and then sweep that energy out the window. So just imagine that you're seeing that energy, and sometimes some people actually can see it, and take it out the window and send it up into the universe to be transformed.
I'm so glad that you joined us today. It's been really, really exciting. Please wait till the end. We always have a nice little surprise for you. And I hope you watched it right to the end, because we always leave a special little surprise with the credits. So now we're at the end of our show, and we are so glad you're still here with us, because we left a special little surprise right at the end, didn't we?
Yes, we did. But before that, I just want to say, you know what? Leave us a comment below.
To leave us a comment, leave your name and leave your place, not your place of birth, leave your location, your city and your state, and we'll give you a shout out right on the show.
So we want you to come on and get our free, and I really screwed that up, so I'm going to edit that out. Keep going. I'm so excited that we have a free gift page. Just go to the web page, click on the button that says free gifts, and you'll find all the treasures there. So first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you back next time. Oh, oops. Should we start over? Okay, let's start from the top.